अवतारो आनंदलीलमय विग्रह हेमंतवत्स विसुंदरय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसपदाय श्री चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते कास्तुरीतिलकमलतपतले वक्स्तुलिनकोस्मसागरिवर्मुक्तिकं करतरे वैनुकनकङ्कणं साव अङ्गहरिचन्दनं सुललितं कन्तमुक्तबलि व्रजस्त्रियो परिवेशितो विजयते गोपालचूडमणि हे श्यामसुन्दर शिकार शेखर स्मिरहासमेलि मनोहर हरिकरसिक मम कृपनिधि सुप्रियचरणकिङ्करीं कुरु त्वयैवास्मि न जीवामि तया विना यैराधे त्वं नयमं चरणन्तिकम् यत्किङ्करेषु सकलुककलानि नित्यपरस्य पुरुषस्य कन्दमूले तस्य कदा रसनिदेव सुबनुजस् तत्केलिकुञ्जभवनङ्गनमाजनिष्यामा भजामि राधारविन्दनेत्रं स्मरामि राधा मधुरस्मिताशं वदामि राधा करुणापराजं ततो मनस्ति गतिर्न कापि पतिताविनोऽपराधलक्षय क्षिप्तश्च कामादितरङ्गमजे कृपामयि तं शरणं प्रपन्न वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरुदेव की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Thank you, Didi. Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nectar Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev. Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol. So Dandavat Pranam, all devotees. So I don't know all devotees who are here. Yes, so we don't forget. So maybe just to go around the room one time so I can meet everybody and I'll introduce myself and my good wife. So Prabhuji?
My name is Gauranga Premdas.
Gauranga Prem. These names are also very beautiful. Gauranga Prem. Gauranga Prem is the pinnacle of everything. So I'll explain. Tatiana. Bhaktin Tatiana. Bhaktin Makela. Lavanga Devidasi. So very beautiful name. My wife can introduce her. I'm her husband. When I get here, when he come around, he's her husband. Didi?
I'm Lalita Priya Devidasi.
Lalita Priya. Okay, Prabhuji? Padmamukha Jagannath Das. Padmamukha, yeah. Beautiful. Didi? Jamuna. Everybody has Vrindavan names? Everybody's Vrindavan names? Oh, Prabhuji? Bhakta Stephen. It's on the way to Vrindavan name. You have to start at Bhakta Stephen and then work way. Prabhuji, just I know I met already, but Kirtan, Eshwara, and then Gauranga Das. So everything all in one. My name is Mukunda Das. I started going to ISKCON Temple in Brooklyn in 1972. And then, long story short, went to school, but wanted to join. So I joined New Dwarka in 1975. Then my mother called and said, hey, I was in the military. So the military was paying for school. Said, hey, I love the Hare Krishna thing. It's all very good. I think it'd be prudent to go back and get your education. So I did that. I came back in 1979 and I was working with Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj and he sent me to Africa to open temples. So 1979, I went to Africa to open the temples in West Africa. After doing that, we came back and we established the institute that Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj ran for many years here. Then I wanted to deepen my studies. I had gone to India in 1986 during the Padayatra, and a very good friend of mine. You know Ayendra? Devotees know Ayendra? So me and Ayendra were very good friends from America, so he convinced me to stay in Vrindavan for some months to start this 24-hour kirtan and Braj thing and so forth. In that same year, coming back from Ram Janmabhoomi in India, where the place of Lord Ram's birth and everything is normally closed because there was some conflict, Muslim and Hindu conflicts. But that year was open and they decided to go there as part of the Padayatra. So we went there, and coming back, I went to the place where Srila Prabhupada took sannyas, which is Kesavji Gaudiya Math, and I met my Gurudev there, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. So that was 1986 or something. And he gave order to me and my wife sometime later, you should take Vanaprast and you should travel and preach, so forth and so on. So under that order, I've been doing that ever since and serving the mission of our Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara. So we just came now. We're completing our travel. We started in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We live in Alachua, Florida, but that big van out there, we're traveling in it. So we started in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then we went to Denver, then to Boise, then to Eugene, and then to LA, then San Francisco, then last night San Diego, then here. One more program in Oklahoma City, and then we'll try to get back to Alachua. There's a hurricane there now, so we need to get back just to check on things as well. But what I wanted to talk about tonight was the gifts of our Srila Prabhupada, because if it was not for our Srila Prabhupada, not many devotees in the West, I cannot speak, many devotees who were born in Bharat Bhumi, born in India, something, may have had opportunity to experience what is Mahaprabhu's mission or Gaudiya Vaishnavism living in India, right? But in the Western world, everybody pretty much has come under the auspices of the umbrella of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Very few people had come to Vaishnavism without that kripa. And Srila Prabhupada's unique gift was that he was the embodiment of a prophecy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, there's a prophecy there, Prithviya Chayata Nagararigram Savacha Pracha Oibe Morinam. So here it says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that in every town and village, my name will be heard. And we've always interpreted that to mean the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, no problem. But really what Mahaprabhu meant there was that not only would Harinam be heard, but Harinam, along with all the conceptions of Mahaprabhu, would manifest everywhere in the world. Because the feat is not so much to hear the sound vibration Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada could have made one recording and sent it around the world. Everybody would have heard Hare Krishna. He could have said, Boss. You have to remember Srila Prabhupada was at 70 years old at that time, living in the Rasastali. Radha Damodar in Vrindavan is a Rasastali. It is the place of the highest conceptions of Krishna's Leela. In that same place is the Samadhi, that means the burial place of Rupa Goswami, who's Rupa Manjari, who is our ideal in worship. Srila Prabhupada was living there in that association. Srila Prabhupada, being a realized soul, was having direct darshan of all of these things. And he chose to come to America, which is the land of Jagai Madais. I don't know how many people have read the story of Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai, two people. But in America, just in one street in Brooklyn alone, you can encounter thousands. Stand on the corner, you'll meet thousands of Jagai and Madais. You understand? He chose to come there. And even in coming there, nobody offered, oh, please, Swamiji, we'll offer first class air ticket, you can come. And when you get here, we'll make arrangement, your accommodation, everything. Even I was coming here for one night, Sandamani Mataji gave the guest house, she arranged everything, all kinds of things. Srila Prabhupada, and I'm nobody. Srila Prabhupada came here, that time nobody knew, but he was the ambassador of Mahaprabhu. He's a direct associate of Radha and Krishna. But he came on a cargo ship. I had to work. I had two careers. One is law enforcement and one is a musician. And while traveling as a musician, I once had to work on a cruise. I've never been on a ship pretty much since that time. So then it's just the seasickness. Srila Prabhupada had 3 heart attacks. Who could have blamed Srila Prabhupada if he had said, listen, at the next port, I'm elderly, I've had a heart attack, I will return to Braj, but I will write books. Who could blame? Would anybody have blamed him for that? But still, after 3 heart attacks, he came here anyway. That alone is enough to make your heart break and for you to break down. Understand? Just that alone. But not only that, But then he gave the greatest gift, because for everybody, whether you know about bhakti, you don't know about bhakti, the greatest gift in this world is love. It is the greatest gift in this world. If you're rich, poor, ugly, beautiful, whatever your status is, everyone is looking for love. No doubt about it. You get the person who has everything else that they could possibly acquire in this life. If they don't have someone to share it with, and even if they don't have someone, who do they love? Themselves. So love is still the principal thing in this world. And Srila Prabhupada not only brought Harinam, but he brought all the conceptions of the highest degree of love. Last night I asked in the program, I think a couple of programs, I asked the same question. Where does love come from? Can you Google? You can Google. Who invented love? Don't Google. Find it. It's rhetorical. You're gonna go. It's rhetorical. Who invented love? You'll not find it. Oh, really? Oh, you what branch military you in? Oh, really? Yeah, I was in the Air Force. We didn't do anything but sit around and round table stuff. And then I wasn't satisfied with that, so I went into public relations. I didn't want to do that. But I had an 18-year career in law enforcement. The last 12 of those years was in anti-terrorism. So I retired in 2006 and we moved to Alaska. Anyway, but you cannot find out or trace out who it is that created love. And what is love? In our common parlance in English, we say, oh, I love you too. But what is it? Butterflies in the stomach? You meet somebody in the market, oh, he's cute, oh, he's handsome. What is it? So no real definition, because real love is difficult to be expressed under conditions. Real love by nature is unconditional. And because the jivas in this world are conditioned, it is very difficult to give a genuine expression to love. Sastra is mentioning, Kaitavam rahitam prema, na prema manushaloke. That in the material world, whatever appears to be love is usually exploitive, even if it's not intentionally exploitive, right? Or because we are conditioned, we only look to other persons to satisfy our conditions. That's generally what happens. Now, we can't say that about devotee relationships. Fraternal, marital relationships, as Rupa Goswami told, Dadati Pratapinati Vyamakati Prichati, Bhunkte Bojayate Chaiva, Sadvidam Priti Lakshan. So the lakshan, or the quality of priti, is in devotee relationships. You understand? But for ordinary people, because of self-interest, it is very difficult to express unconditional love. But our Goswami Varga, Sri Rupa Goswami, in describing love, he gave a definition. You heard definition before? What is love? Just me listen. It's there. Sarvata donksa rahitam. The word donksa in Sanskrit means to break something. Sarvata, under no condition, donksa, can the love be broken. Yadapi donksa karane. Karan means a cause. Even if there was a cause for the love to break, it doesn't break. Yet bhava bandhano, prema parikirtita. By this word prem, which we translate, when we translate from our scriptures, we translate it as love. Because in English parlance, that's all we could digest. But the word prem has such a deep meaning. So he's saying the love, even when there's a cause for it to break, it makes the lover and beloved stronger. You understand? In this world, if I give some condition to wife, oh, darling, yesterday I decided maybe it's a good idea that we should have a co-wife. No problem, Babuji, I'll set your things outside. Then you can, you can have co-wife 1, 2, 3. Understand? So there are conditions. You understand? So it's not that it will become stronger. You understand? So real prem is like that. So, but the point here is that therefore prem can only exist between the unconditional part of ourselves and another person who's unconditioned. So the original prem, original love, is between the soul and Bhagavan. And until that relationship is established, even in the material world, you cannot even share love. First, that relationship will have to be established. If that relationship will be established, you can be a whole person. And for those who brahmachari, no need to then have anything else, because you'll be established in a whole relationship. And even if you decide to enter Grihastha life, then that partnership will also be for the sake of Bhagavan, and it will be covered by Priti Lakshan, the quality of prem. Understand? Therefore, the exploitive tendency, which comes from our material conditioning, will not be there. What is the nature of the jiva? Jiva is a Shakti. Bhagavan has many Shaktis. One Shakti of Krishna is called Jiva Shakti. That Shakti has many individual parts. They are called Atma. So sometimes you hear the word together. Jiv Atma. Atma is the individual person. Jiva is the Shakti. That Shakti has the ability to be either completely unconditioned. They are called what? Nitya Siddha. They are completely accomplished. Doimo Purusho Loke, Ksharakshaya. They are completely unconditioned. They never have any disturbance from their spiritual position. They don't even know what the material world is. Another part of that Shakti enters into the domain of the influence of material energy. Understand? This is no fault of the jiva. If you study Bhaktivinoda Thakur's writings carefully, Srila Prabhupada's writings carefully, there's not the fault. But sometimes the acharyas give a narrative of a fault so that we can become saranagata, surrendered. Because if you're not, you'll think, oh, what's the problem? It wasn't my fault I'm here. It's like I used to ask, I told my mother one time, everybody does this. She chastised me about something. I said, well, I didn't ask to come here. She said, the next time you go in the refrigerator, I'm sure you're glad you'll be here. You're glad to be here. You understand? So you got to watch that. You understand? So the jivas who are in relation to the material energy, they become influenced by it. That influence is called avidya. Avidya means ignorance of our actual identity. There are 8 things which are related to this avidya shakti. Bhumya Ponalovayu Kamanaburevacha Hankrityamai Birapakriyastata. 8 separated energies of Bhagavan. 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, and ether, and 3 subtle elements. The main one being ahamkar, or false egoism. Then there's the mental function and the intellectual function. And then this is the external and subtle covering of the Atma. Understand? Now, a question comes here. Can the Atma actually be covered by those things? Yes, no. You're right. It's only vicarious, the connection. Because Sangohyanyam Purushaha, the actual Atma never changes its spiritual nature. Jiva Goswami told in Paramatma Sandarbha, it's navikari. Also, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Can't be withered by wind, moistened by water, burned by fire. So the Atma itself doesn't change its position. In Paramatma Sandarbha, also Jiva Goswami told it's ek rup sarupa bhak. It always remains situated in its position. But the influence of material energy is so strong because the Atmas in this world are not imbued with the internal potency of Bhagavan called Swarup Shakti. Have you heard this word before? Swarup Shakti. The internal energy is sometimes called Antaranga Shakti or Swarup Shakti. It's the spiritual energy. It's what creates the spiritual, not creates, but maintains the spiritual world. It's what love of God is composed of. It's composed of that spiritual energy. That is void in Atmas who have influence of the material energy here and are under avidya. Steve?
That's Swarupa Shakti they're talking about. That's different from Ladini Shakti?
It is Ladini Shakti. Ladini Samvitin Sandini. It's called Swarup Shakti. In the jivas who are here, Jiva Goswami told, Anari Paramatatva Jnanam Samsarga Abhav. Abhav means they've been void of that Swarup Shakti from Anadikal. In Tattva Sandarbha, he described this word means something which has no beginning, but it does have an end. So the jiva sojourn in relation to material energy, 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse 20 also states this, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary affirms it. The relationship with avidya is anadi. But it comes to an end when a person comes to the stage of questioning their material existence. So as soon as the thought arises in your mind, there must be something else. This can't be the all in all. There's got to be some other meaning to life. That is called mati. Mati means that discrimination. The example of that is Sanatana Goswami. He asked the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Keami, Kenemai, Jaritapachai, who am I and why am I suffering? That is called mati. Then Mahaprabhu gives him answer, Jivara Swarup, oh yeah, Krishnera, Nitya. This last word is very important, das. Understand? Here's where the big mistake comes. In avidya, the first thing that happens under avidya is called asmita. In Sanskrit, asmi means I am. Ita means a condition. The condition under which we think I am something other than das of Krishna is called asmita. Now, this asmita, this idea of something other than the servant of Krishna, becomes nourished and supported by ahamkar, false egoism. What is the meaning of ahamkar? Aham, I am the karana and the karata of everything. Karana means I'm the cause, karata means I'm the doer. But Bhagavad Gita is clear. Prakriti kriya manani gunai kamani savasha ahamkara vimuratma kartamiti mante. The modes are doing everything and they're shining. What it is, your soul is sitting in its natural position. Your chitta, you heard this word chitta? Your chitta is like a flat screen TV, for lack of a better word. The three modes of material nature showing the movie, this is your life. And they're showing that movie on the chitta, you're vicariously identifying with it. That's the relationship, the Atma and the external world. Now, each karmic iteration from your previous life carries over, and the three modes of nature pick up that script and show it back to you on the flat screen TV of your chitta, and the soul identifies with it. Much in the same way when you were younger and you watch a movie, you identify with the hero, the heroine, the plot, and even when the guy's about to go in the room where they've been chopping people's heads off, you go, don't go in there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Understand? You know, it's only a movie, everything, but still you've invested emotionally in the drama. Did he?
I've been with your okay, 27 long. So is it fair to say that our life is basically like a movie then?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Your karmic iteration, each time you take birth, Kamana Diamond and Trainer, Janto Deo Pachi, third canto Bhagavatam, so to speak, it's shown to you on the screen of your chitta by the modes of nature, and you're identifying with it. Now, vidya are rag and dvesh. Rag and dvesh means that I'm always searching for my nature, which is ananda, but because the material world and the combination of the Atma's relationship to it creates dukkha, there's always the duality of rag and dvesh, happiness and distress. You understand? Now, the last thing is called abhinivesh. The word abhinivesh means this drama is so deep, you can't extricate yourself from it. Why would that be?
It's the hurricane thing.
Oh,
We're from Alachua.
yeah.
Krishna's mercy.
Wow. Some technology is so crazy. Yeah, I'm nowhere near Alachua, but it's probably because,
But you know, they're getting alerts.
alerts, yeah.
Anyway, even though we're here.
Okay.
But now it's a major alert.
Yeah, because the hurricane is coming. So anyway, so abhinivesh means an inextricable absorption in this drama, which is our karma. So you can't extricate yourself from it. So in the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 22nd chapter, verse 10, it mentions, Anadya Vidya Yuktasha Purushasya Veda Atmanam. Swato na sambhavanti. Swato na means you cannot pull yourself out. Anya, it requires another. Who? Gyanatva Gyanado Bhavet. That person who's realized and is mercifully disposed towards illuminating your own heart. That person is called Sadhu Guru. Understand? That person is called Sadhu Guru. Guru is not the person. Guru is the function. The sadhu is performing the function of Guru. You can know this because Bhaktivinoda Thakur says very clearly, Tai Sishatava Takya Savada Guru Abhimana Tyaji. May the idea of being Guru go very far away from me. Then why do we have a Guru Parampara? Because what is the meaning of Guru? Have you ever heard the meaning of the word Guru?
Heavy.
Means heavy with knowledge. But what's the etymology? Gu Shabdat Andaka, light and dark. Gu Shabdat Andakarasha. Ru Shabdat Andakarasha Nirodita. That person who removes darkness by the illumination of Swarup Shakti, he is called Guru, but that person is a sadhu performing that function. Understand? Because if the Guru thinks he's Guru, he's not Guru. You get this point? If the Guru thinks he's Guru, he's not Guru. Because that means he's having one upad, he means a designation. I am Guru and I have disciples. You understand? So in common parlance, we say it. But once I heard a lecture, Srila Pujapat Gaur Gobind Maharaj in Orissa. And he was speaking on Guru Tattva, and he was speaking very boldly. Tadvari Pani Patena, he's quoting all sloks. Tashmat Guru Papaji, he's quoting all verses, everything. Right after the lecture, one of his own disciples asked, "Well, the Gurudev, so we can understand that you're a high class of guru like this." His whole demeanor changed, everything. Said, "Oh no, I don't even have a smell of bhakti." So I realized, having had association with him before, in his consideration of seva to Prabhupada and Guru Parampara, he's speaking this. When he took consideration of his own self, just like in the Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Kirtan, Yogyata vichare kichunai pai tomara karunasara. When I examine myself, I don't find any quality. This is called Dainya Bhava humility. This is the natural position of Krishna consciousness. So Guru never feels he's Guru. Guru feels he's doing a seva by transmitting the teachings coming in Guru Parampara for the illumination of so many different souls. And that person is a sadhu. Now in Vaishnavism, the sadhu should be of a certain caliber because there's many types of sadhu. So for instance, we cannot say that those who practice gyan or yoga, etc., that they're not sadhu. Srila Prabhupada also acknowledges they're sadhu. But are they sadhus who can help us in bhakti? No. Then, so Jiva Goswami told, Sadnoti Sadaichicha Krishna Prem Itti Sadhu. That person is a sadhu who's realized Krishna Prem, who's realized love for God. He can help us to obtain love for God, which is our goal. Because our goal is not Brahman. Our goal is also not Atma Ananda. Because even if you remove Maya, the first thing you'll realize is that the Atma has no misery. Jiva Goswami Pad also talked in Paramatma Sandarbha. He mentioned the soul is Chidanandatmaka. Then in the commentary says, it is dukkha pratyogita, means in the soul itself there is no misery. Understand? The soul itself has no misery. It is dukkha pratyogita. Right? So, if there's no misery in the soul, where does misery come from? Avijja Shakti. Not only Avijja Shakti, but is there misery in the material energy? We have this verse, Dukkalyam Ashashvatam. But really, if you study the commentaries, it's a perception of misery if you take two chemicals that are benign in and of themselves. But when you put them together, they can become incendiary, explosive, or toxic. You understand? So when the jiva, the atma, tries to exploit the material energy, you're taking two things and mixing them together, it becomes toxic. That's where misery comes from. God's energy of itself, we can't say is miserable. Does anybody know the origin of Maya? Krishna. When Krishna took birth, Mother Yashoda became overwhelmed by Yog Maya Shakti and fell asleep. Immediately after that, a baby girl was born. Does everybody know this? Her name is Krishna Anuja. Means born after Krishna. Krishna gave her the blessing that when she went to the dungeon of Kamsa, that she would take all Maya out of the Dham and allow people to experience the Dham, but also she'd become famous all Durga, Amba, Kalima, and all the different features of Mahamaya. And when did she met? She was actually an Ansa of Yogmaya. When did she become Mahamaya? When Kamsa grabbed her from Devaki. When he grabbed her from Devaki, she flew up in the air, kicked him in the head, said, "You fool. That person you're looking for has already been born elsewhere, along with all of his Shaktis." You understand? So it says in our commentary of our Acharyas, that time she manifested the root, according to the Ashibad, means the blessing of Krishna, to become all the different features of Mahamaya around the world. So Mahamaya is Bhakti. She's also a part of Bhakti. You understand? So, but when we try to exploit the material energy, then we become implicated in causing dukkha to arise from that combination. Other than that, no misery in the dukkha, no misery also in the Shakti. That's why when we're using the material energy to it also gives bliss. If you use it for exploitation, it causes misery. Understand? Like this. So Srila Prabhupada came, he not only gave Harinam, but he gave all of these inner teachings up to the highest degree of prema. Here I'm being some tempered in speaking, but very high class of things, Srila Prabhupada. If you read 4th chapter of Adi Lila, very high class. Bhagavad Gita is very basic scripture, correct? Yes or no? Yeah, no.
Well, I don't think it is. I think it's pretty advanced. But I know that there's more advanced scriptures that I've heard of.
Bhagavad Gita is very high class of Rasik Sastra.
The-
Understand? Depends on how you will see.
Harmless to me.
Huh?
Rising property.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it offensive to think that the Bhagavad Gita, I mean, I understand the Bhagavad Gita is very high, but is it offensive to think that Chaitanya Charitamrita is higher than the Bhagavad Gita?
Chaitanya Charitamrita will give insight into how high class Bhagavad Gita is. Because if it's not from Mahaprabhu, the conceptions regarding the nature of Bhagavad Gita. So I'm explaining why Bhagavad Gita is such high class. First, I'm quoting one verse. In the Gita Upanishad, it is mentioned there. Sava Upanishado Ghavo Dukta Nandana Gopala Partha Vatsa Sudhiya Bhokta Dugdam Gita Amritam Mahat. So it says that Krishna, before the battle of Kurukshetra, had come to Kurukshetra during the solar eclipse. At that time, it was the last time he had seen the Brijabasis. You understand? Krishna left Braj at 10 and a half years old. He had not seen Brijabasis according to Bhagavatam since. Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami, he mentions after killing Dantaraki, he returns. But Bhagavatam is not mentioning a return. So this means up to some 60, 70 years, going first to Mathura, then to Dwarka, the Brijabasis did not see Krishna. In the Gopi Gita of Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, Atatite Bhavan Anikananam Tritiyugayate Tvam Apashatam. If gopis do not see Krishna's face, Tritiyugayate, 1 second is like yugas have passed. What to speak of 70 years? Then after that, they meet at Kurukshetra for 2 months during the solar eclipse. And they're talking to Krishna. And Radhika's telling to Krishna, listen, before we knew you dressed in a peacock feather with a crown of flowers, you carried a flute, you had 1 pitambar, but now we see you're dressed like a royal king. This is the meaning of the verse, Ayidina Dayadranata Maturanata Karvalukshajay, that was recited by Madhavinda Puri. Understand? So now, so much deep mood of love is going on here. So when Krishna returns to this place for the battle of Kurukshetra, you think he just forgot all of that? So Krishna, when he comes there, Krishna's heart melts. And because Arjuna and Krishna are very close, like Tadatmik of heart, Arjuna becomes bewildered because of that. So that's why when Krishna addresses him and he's smiling, he says, how have these impurities come upon you? Because Krishna is knowing it's his own meaning of deep mood of separation that is manifested here at Kurukshetra where he last met Brijabasis. So now Arjuna is vicariously experiencing that and becoming bewildered. I don't want to fight. My uncles are out here, my teachers. So then Krishna takes 700 verses and gives in code a catharsis about his separation from Vrindavan to Arjuna. So therefore Bhagavad Gita is highest class of Sastra. But according to the angle of vision coming from Mahaprabhu, for those in the Gaudiya line who are dealing Sava Guyankata, there's 5 levels of understanding Bhagavad Gita. Samanyan Upakyan, how to do your duty. Right? So from that angle of vision, if you're a Kshatriya, your duty is to fight. So fight for the proper purpose, which is Dharma. If you're doing Guyakata, means more confidential. What is the soul? All 2nd chapter Bhagavad Gita, the soul is different from the body. You're not this body. More than that, what is bhakti? You understand? Then what is Braj Bhakti? Then what is nature of gopis praying in that bhakti? 5 levels of understanding in Bhagavad. This is described by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Sa'artha Vashanitika, means his commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So like this. So Bhagavad Gita, very high class of sattva. But these things will be understood when we're doing bhakti in a mature stage. Prior to that, we should do practice. Understand? But even in our daily practices, many deep, mysterious things. Every day, how many people have been singing Guru Astakam regularly? You live in the temple, you're singing every day.
Guru Astakam is the...
Samsaradava Navalida Loka. In that Guru Astakam, all the stages of bhakti from Shraddha to Bhav are in the first 6 stanzas. Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote this kavya, means poetry. He based it on Madhurya Kandamini, which was the book he wrote describing bhakti. So in the first slok, he describes Shraddha. In the 4th slok, he describes the stage of Ruchi. Chaturvidashi Bhagavat Prasado Swadvana Triptam Haribhakta Sanghan. So he says 4 types of prasad should be tasted. What can be chewed, licked, drunk, and sucked, right? So what was he talking about? Kachoris, halava, sabji, so forth, so? No. If that was the case, I'd be a pure devotee. He was talking how to taste 4 types of Krishna Madhuri. Krishna's Venu Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, Rup Madhuri, Prem Parika Madhuri. How, by the mercy of Gurudev, one will taste the 4 special qualities of Krishna that separate him from all other categories of Bhagavan. Then, no other form of Bhagavan has these qualities, not even Ramchandra. These 4 special qualities are unique to Krishna. They're called asadharana, uncommon. This is why he's Swayam Bhagavan. So he says, those who can taste this is the stage of Ruchi. Shirarikaya Madhavyorapara Madhujalila Gurupananam Pratikshana Dhanalolupasya. Those who hankering in every minute for the savor of Sri Radha Krishna seva in any particular aspect, that savor, this is called the stage of Ashakti.
Just Swayam. Exactly.
Ashwadan.
No.
Swayam Bhagavan? Swayam Bhagavan means original, for lack of a better word. Original form. Because Jiva Goswami told Bhagavad Stavad Asadharana Aishwarya Madhurya Tat Visesh, that Krishna is the original because nobody else has those 4 qualities. Also, nobody else in their own form can reconcile all opulence and sweetness. Understand? No other form of Bhagavan.
You say the 4 qualities, you mean the 64, like the 4 on top of the 60?
Exactly. Krishna's flute playing, the beauty of his form, his associates, and his lila. No other form of Bhagavan, Narasingha and Ramachandra, they're called Paravastavata according to Laghu Bhagavatamrita Rupa Goswami. Even they can't compare to Krishna's 4 unique qualities.
Doesn't Krishna also have even more qualities than that?
Not Krishna has more qualities.
Like, doesn't he have like a few more? Doesn't he?
He has 64 qualities.
Doesn't he have even more than that, right?
What happens is those 4 qualities are illuminated by the nature of the prema of the associates in relation to Krishna. This is explained Ujjal in the Money. It's a high class of Grantha, high class book. According to the love, those qualities are enhanced. So I'm just telling one thing because it's not really a forum for that kind of talk. Anurag, the love goes in different stages. Bhav, we'll experience in this life. When we come to the stage of Bhav, all of the false egoism, everything is melted away. Sudha Sattva Viseshatma Prem Suyangsa Samyabhak. It's like a ray of prem. Ruchi bis Chitta Maslinya. The Chitta, which now had the influence of false ego, that's been melted away. Maslinya means melted. So at that stage, Swarup Shakti that you talked about comes onto the Chitta and takes control of it. Now, in the next life, because you're not producing karma anymore, you'll get a body that is completely spiritual. That is called Vastu Siddhi. You'll take that body anywhere Krishna is performing his pastimes within the material world.
So you'll be in the material world in the spiritual form.
It won't be like the material world, but you'll be wherever Krishna is performing his Leela within the material universes in your next birth. Narada Muni described that in the 1st canto, 6th chapter. He was describing Vyasadeva how he became perfect. He said when time came for his death, he had become pure. So he said, Prayujamani Mai Tom Suram Bhagavatim Tanum. I completely became one. Prayuj in Sanskrit means complete oneness. I became completely one with Swarup Shakti. Therefore, I didn't need the body of 5 elements. It melted away and fell away. And I got a Sudha Tanum. Tanum means body, a pure body. That's the body of Nard. Nard has many other bodies. Madhu Mangal is also Nard Muni. Srivas and Gaur Leela is also Nard Muni. Then Nard Muni is Nard Muni. Then Nardiya Gopi is also Nard. So he's got so many different forms. But when you get a pure body, it's in the spiritual place where Krishna is performing his pastimes within the cycle in the creations, right? At that time, the love that you had will grow. So love in the basic stage is called Bhav, then it becomes Prem, Sneha, Man, Rag, Anurag. Anurag becomes Mahabhav. Mahabhav becomes Rud, Adirud, Mohan, Modan, and in Radhika only is Madanakya Mahabhav. We will never attain that state. We can serve that state, but we will never attain that state.
Up into the highest state, is the devotee still thinking that he or she has no love for Krishna?
Dainya Bhav will be a Sanchari Bhav then. There are 33 Sanchari Bhavs. One is called Dainya Bhav. So it's explained. Paripakena Dhanasya, Krishna Prema doesn't be Tamnite. Yes, you'll think, oh, I have no love for Krishna. That will be in Sadhakavast. Means in the time of practicing like a sadhaka. Like Bhakti Vinod Thakur and many other devotees are singing. What is it? Amara Jivan Sadapapai Rata Nahiko Punyalesh. I don't have any love for Krishna whatsoever. But this is the mood of humility as a genuine Sanchari Bhav, because we also try to be humble. Yes, like the devotee says, who would like to clean the bathroom? I will clean the bathroom. You understand? But then you leave the door open so everybody can see that you're cleaning the bathroom. So everybody will go, oh, Prabhu is so humble. Oh my gosh. So not the real thing. But when maturation comes and one sees in relation to himself the height of all kinds of high-class Vaishnavas, then he thinks, oh, I have no love for Bhagavan. Or you think about your own Gurudev. You think my Gurudev is such high, like you think Srila Prabhupada, high class of love for Krishna. What do I have? Listen? So then this, in maturation, will become like a Sanchari Bhav, that feeling. And that feeling is very helpful to stimulate forward progress in bhakti. Then, as for Mahaprabhu taught you, not a piece of niche. Success in chanting Harinam, I have to become very humble. Prabhuji?
Thank you so much for very sweet talk, very sweet, minding, inspiring talk. My question is about Narada, because you mentioned that nice point that Narada Muni is one of Bengal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of curious because Narada Muni seems like this, he's one of Lord Chaitanya's associates at Srivas, and of course associated with Krishna in so many ways. But then we don't hear of him in Vrindavan, is he on the level of Vrindavan?
Yes.
So then you hear that he's Madhu Mangal kind of like because he is.
Yes.
And also that's not his. So can we say that his original form is that of?
The highest form will be the most prominent form. But Narada has what is called Swachrati. Swachrati means, because if you read in Bhagavatam, Narada appeared from the heart of Brahma. After the four Kumaras, everything, he was frustrated. So Bhakti appeared from the heart of Brahma, is personified as Narada. So I was studying Ramayana some time back, and one commentary in Ramayana of Vedanta Deshi, he describes the meaning of the word Nara. Nara varam dadati iti narada. That person who gives the best of things to mankind is called Narada. The best thing you can give to everyone is bhakti. So Narada is the personification of giving bhakti. Therefore he gave to the Prachetas, he gave to Prahalad, he gave to Dhruva. Understand? But he also has his form in Braj as Madhu Mangal. Madhu Mangal is called Priya Narma Saka. So Krishna has different kinds of Saka. Surit Saka is like Baladev and others who are a little bit older and they're protective. Priya Saka is like Sridham, Radhika's brother, and others. They're same age. Priya Narma Saka is like Subal, Ujjwal, Madhu Mangal, Vasant, others, Ujjwal. They can also serve Krishna even when he's with the gopis. Ujjwal Nemani is expressing Adyantika Rahasya Jnana Sakhi Bhavasvita. Because when they're with Krishna, they have so much attachment to Krishna's pleasure, they never think about themselves. Under ordinary condition, if any young man is accompanying his friend, and his friend goes somewhere and there are 10 girls and one friend, hey, do you mind if I talk also to one? But the Priyanama Sakas never think like this. Sakhi Bhava Ashrita. Their male mood is suppressed because of Anumodita, the desire that Krishna should be happy. So they give everything for the service of Krishna, no self-interest whatsoever. That's why they're called Priyanama Sakas, and they can even be present when Krishna is serving with gopis. Not in intimacy though. Jiva Swami mentioned clearly. So they have kunjas around Radhakund also, but dedicated them to the Sakis. But they do amazing services. Last story for the night, because we have to drive to Tempe from here. So last month, Krishna was waiting for any rendezvous with Radhika, but it was not happening, and Krishna was becoming very distressed. So he was speaking his heart to Subal. Oh, Subal, Radhika, we made one arrangement. It is called Abhisar. That we'll meet at a certain time, certain place. But I'm not seeing it all. My heart is breaking. So Subal said, let me see what I can do. He went to the house of Jatila. And there he told Jatila, oh, listen, my calf was wandering and I thought I saw him go into your home. Right? And so Jatila said, why would your calf come into my home? Said, Mataji, I don't know. Understand? I'm not in the mind of the calf. I cannot tell. Understand? But I'm sure I saw him go, all right, go look for your calf. Be quick. So Subal wondered and he went into the Antapur. In the Antapur is the inner chamber. There he saw Radhika. Radhika became very happy. There's no chance for me to leave. Jatila, Kotila, that's her sister-in-law, mother-in-law. They're guarding everything very closely. So he told, listen, I have a plan. You should give me your clothing. I will give you my clothing. So then Radhika said, there's one problem here. Our anatomy is different. So then he said, listen, take one calf, right? Because there's calves that Abhimanyu, his wife, so he took one Abhimanyu's calf, gave to Radhika. She put like this to carry, so no anatomical difference could be noticed, and changed her voice like Subal. She went out to meet Krishna like that. And Subal stayed behind. How deep love they have for Krishna, Subal, Madhu Mangal, others. Understand? The prominency of our line is Manjari Bhav. But in our line also, there's some who are Sakya. Obviously, Goridas Pandit, Hridoy Chaitanya, others are Sakya also, in Golila. Yeah? So, but Manjari Bhav is prominent. All is Bhakti Saran Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Kamala Manjari, Nainamani Manjari, Bhakti Saran Saraswati Thakur. You understand? If you go back, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's Vinod Manjari. So like this, back to our Rupa Manjari, so on. But there are also Sakyas there in the line. Also like this. But this is a different topic. Yeah, topic. Anyway, I'm also very, very happy to meet everyone and really inspired to come. So Namini Mataji is very kind to me that she allowed me to come in on very short notice to have a meeting. And I thought maybe 2 or 3 people, we just sit and have conversation. I didn't even know that so many devotees would come. So thank you so much for showing me some mercy to have association.
Thank you so much for coming. So you guys are not staying here?
No, because what happened was on the way here, I had a program in Oklahoma City, but then we went to another place to do a program in Kansas and in Nebraska. I didn't realize that I'd be driving an hour out of the way to go to Oklahoma City. So I asked them if we could rearrange it. So then coming back, I didn't want to go across I-10 because getting across Texas is like trying to get to the spiritual world. So I elected to go back across 40. So I told, listen, I'm coming back across 40. We could do the so then he's going to arrange the program now for Saturday. So we're going to stay in Tempe. That way we can get to New Mexico, then to Oklahoma City is the last program. Then we'll head down towards home. Like that.
I just met both of you, but now I'm sad.
There's a separation mood on all of our parts because I'm also I wish we had planned differently. She arranged the guest room, everything for us. So, but yeah, we have to drive, stay in Tempe and get up. We'll rest a little bit after Mongol, lay back down and rest, and then make our. Didi.
I have not so much a question, but when I heard you were giving this talk, I was like, who is this Prabhu? I'm not sure I know him, but I'm going to go anyway. But when I walked in and saw you, I remembered you gave. I saw you on a podcast. This devotee has a channel, ISKCON History or something. And you were talking about preaching in Africa.
Prabhu.
I definitely with Bhakti Tirtha Swami.
Yeah.
And I was so inspired by like your preaching of Bhakti Tirtha Swami and everything you guys did. And I thought, Krishna, I would like to meet that devotee one day.
So that's how I got here. That's how I got here.
I was like, wow, he's really awesome.
Yeah.
I walk in and see her, I'm like, Krishna remembered.
So now we know the secret of what happened. All right, my Dandavat Pranam. Jai. So my Dandavat Pranam to everyone. So we'll try to pack up and get this. What is it, an hour and a half or something?
Yeah, I
So
know.
it'll be about an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll be okay. But wonderful. Oh, we should take a picture. That's always yes.
That's like,
Very nice.
Oh, Dandavat Prabhuji. Very nice to meet you. Next time we're planning to stay. This is the thing in every single place. Mukunda in Eugene, there was because there's all the Prabhupada disciples there. It says Mukunda. Every time you come here, it's like 1-2 days. So next time I think we'll plan it better.
Maybe that won't